Good evening, everybody. This is Patrick with Horrified Gaming. So tonight we'll be doing something a little bit different. We'll be bringing you guys a small tutorial on an app that I use for Unity called Probuilder. Um, you know, my other videos, of course, gameplay videos from my Deadly Maze. If you haven't checked those out, go ahead, check them out on my channel. It's still in early development, but it's coming along quite nicely. Um, and one of the things that I use for that to create the mazes, to create the dungeons and everything is this Probuilder app. I found out about it when I first started, and it is an absolutely fantastic program. You can do a ton of things with it. If you check out the actual video for it on the asset store, um, uh, it'll show you a bunch of stuff that is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can create curves. You can make this thing do almost as much as a 3D program. So it's really great. I just use it for basic stuff myself. Really not a 3D guy, 3D designer guy, but I'm able to create these, mazes for the dungeons, and it really saves time. You don't have to, snap together all the boxes and create walls and all that stuff. It's just so much simpler. So I'm going to show you guys this Probuilder app. I've already got a project created, tutorial for Probuilder. Well, I could have called it Probuilder tutorial, but I got to be different. I'm just weird like that. So we're going to go ahead and open this project up, and hopefully, since it's already created, it takes a shorter time to boot up than it did when I created it. Alright, so here we are, and I'm just going to close that tab because I want to get to that tab. So if you pull up your window tab here and you go to package manager, it's going to bring up all your packages. So Probuilder is a built-in package with Unity, and if you don't have Probuilder, you can find it on the asset store. Just search for Probuilder and it's going to bring it up here. So what I mean by built-in is it doesn't come with Unity, but it actually has it's a built-in package type deal, so it's got all kinds of good features. So if you don't have Probuilder installed, you can go ahead and download it here. I have it. It's one of my most wonderful tools. So once you get it installed, you just come up here to the package manager, go to all, and you'll come down here and you'll find Probuilder right here, and you're going to click that and you're going to hit install. Now that's going to just bring in all the features of the Probuilder app and the Probuilder window and all that good jazz. So it just takes a minute to load everything. Or more than a minute. Okay, so once that is fully imported, and that did take a while. I mean, you guys didn't see it because I edited that out. Don't want you to sit around for that time. But it'll go back to in project, and you'll see Probuilder is now in our project. So then we can go back to the scene view where we've got our standard main camera and directional light. So now we need to get the Probuilder window up and start creating. So up here, if you go to Tools, Probuilder is now part of your tools, and you can come down here and you can just bring the Probuilder window in. Now, Probuilder window, like any other window in Unity, you can dock it where you want it. I'm going to dock it over here. I thought I was going to dock it over here. There. See? Okay, so we got the Pro Builder up here. Now you see all these little buttons, and so we've got your new shape, smoothing. That's complex and can do some really weird stuff with your lighting, so be careful with that. But basically what we want to do, first off and foremost, is we want to get a new shape in our scene. So we're going to create a new shape, and up here you got several shapes you can work with. You got a prism, you know, you got a plane if you want to put a plane in, a cylinder, you know, all of this stuff. I mean, you even got arches, a doorway, you know, you got all kinds of stuff. But we've got to start somewhere, so we're going to start with a cube. Now that cube right now is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. Not very big. So I usually like to start with the starting room of my level. Okay, what size do I want that to be? Obviously, you know, I want the wide to be big enough for the player to fit in there with a little room to the ceiling. So, let's say 4 meters high. Okay, you know, your player's 2 meters and you got 2 meters besides. You know, kind of a halfway point. And we'll build the room maybe 5 meters by let's say 7 meters. We don't want even numbers. Who wants even numbers? And just click build cube, and now we've got our cube. Now, just for the sake of being, you know, standard, you know, just make sure it's at 0, 0, 0. You know, that way you got a good starting point for your level. And so we can zoom out and you can see our cube here. Now, right now the texture's on the outside. So this is a cube, a building. You could put textures on it, make it a big metal building sit in the middle of a forest. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for an internal level, inside. So what we gotta do is we gotta put the outside texture on the inside. So to do that, we go to the Pro Builder window, come down here, it says flip normals. So we flip normals. So you can see it starts rendering the lighting inside there, you know, with our directional light. Okay, so now we've got a room. But how do we make that room into a level? Well, there are several things we can do. Now, if we want to just take this room and just make it into like a dungeon maze like I do, you know, we can start pulling these walls out and whatnot, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to kind of bring ourselves inside this area here. Now you can see all these walls are flat. Okay, so the beautiful feature of Pro Builder is this little handy deal. So we can select just the vertices. We want to select this vertices, and we can manipulate that vertices just as if it were an object. So we can go up with it and down with it, and we can go side to side, and we can create all kinds of weird shape kind of stuff going on here. But that's more advanced, so I'm just going to go like that. Now if we want to select the face, we can select the face, and again we can bring that out, bring it in, you know, anything we want to do with it. You can even move it side to side, and again kind of, you know, make an angled hallway or whatever. But what we can also do is we can take a section of this wall. Now we do have I'm sorry, this was edge selection. That's vertex selection. Let me just select one vertex and just go in and out, you know. But here, what we're going to do is we're going to select face, but we're going to make this face a little bit smaller. Alright, so how we do that, and this took me a minute to figure out, if we select edges, we click on this edge here, and we got a little, over here we've got this little insert edge loop, and that's going to loop together all of those edges. Now by doing that and by moving this around, we can make like a corridor out of this room. So if we want the corridor, you know, about, I'd say that wide, so we can just set that there. Okay, and then we can go in and we can select that face, and now we've got this not selected and this is selected, so we got a smaller area. If we hold our shift key, we can extrude that and make it a hallway. You know, if we bring that back, if we just move it, we're again kind of moving the room around a little bit. So we want to extrude that out, and we're going to extrude out just a short hallway there. And then when you're building your hallways, like I've got this here now, if I select this face here, again I got this big face. Now I can go through that whole rigmarole of creating another edge loop and moving it and manipulating and such on and so forth, but I prefer a little subtler way. And this is a little trick I picked up working with ProBuilder, is every time you extrude, it creates a new edge loop. So if I just extrude a little bit like that, you can see maybe a little bit further out. Now you can see I have another hallway that I can extrude. And if I want to, I can just create a T, and I can extrude it on the other side as well. So now we've got, if we look from outside, we've got this room here, a small hallway, and then a nice little T junction here. So we can continue, you know, messing with this, and we can even keep this hallway going a little further out to make another hallway. So we've got two little side hallways, and we've got another hallway that goes out. And we can manipulate this like a dozen different ways. I mean, you don't even need a map. If you just play with it, you know, hey, I want to move that out there. Hey, maybe I'll create another room here, so I take this whole piece here like that, and I take this whole piece here like that, and now I've got this whole other room. So again, now we've got a room here, we've got a room here, we've got a hallway, a little hallway here, and another, you know, little area there. So, you know, you can do so much with this, and you know, you can even create doors, and doors are fun. And I had to learn I'd say the hard way, how to make doorways work really well. So you've got this whole setup here. So if we want to make another room, say over here, or we'll say, alright, we're going to move this hallway out just a little bit more, and then we're going to extrude just a little bit for the doorway. Alright, and then we're going to create another room over here. Okay, so a little bit more. Okay, so we've got this big wall section right here. Okay, now we already know if we come up here and we select an edge, okay, we insert our edge loop. You know, what do we got here? We got a nice little edge. Okay, I'd say that's about good size for a door. But now the doorway is the same height. So how do we fix that? Well, if you click here and then you hold the shift key and you click on this edge, now you've got both edges selected, and we're just going to connect those edges. So by connecting those two edges, now we've created a new little edge here that we can bring up about that height for a door, right? So now we've got a little spot up here. So now it's a true doorway. Now if we do the face selection, we click that, and now we can extrude just a little bit in, right? So let's say we want this room to kind of be, you know, in that area. So if we extrude just a little piece of that, we kind of create a doorway, right? So I'm going to bring it in just a little bit more for a thinner doorway. Now we hit shift, hold shift again, we extrude a little bit more out that way, okay, about the size of a room. And we can select this face here, and then we just extrude that out that way, and then we come back around, select that face there, and we're going to extrude that out that way a little bit. So now we've got this little room, but this little room is very short now, right? So if we look, you know, that ceiling's much lower, but we can fix that too. So we select these faces here, you know, hold shift to select multiple. Now we got all those faces selected. So if we hit shift and then we extrude the, oh, wrong way, Control Z is your friend. We hold shift and we grab that one and we just extrude up. We can make it as tall or as short as we want. So we just want to bring it up just a little bit, so it's about the same height as the one out there. And you can get really intricate with it, and you can kind of go outside here and look, you know, come around this side of it, you know, and really, and then we can just kind of manipulate that just a little bit, right about the same height, okay? So now, what have we got? We've got another room over here, got a room over here, we got a room over here, right? So we start here, we come out, you know, and so now we've created all of this out of just one cube. Now, the beautiful thing, another one of the beautiful things about ProBuilder is, so we want to add some texture to this, okay? So, and I'm not going to get too complicated with textures because I don't have my assets, and I don't want to download them all again. So, but what we'll do is, just so I can show you how this kind of works here, we're going to come over here and we're going to make a new folder, and we're going to call it Materials. Alright, now we're going to come in here and we're going to create a new material. So, create material, and we're going to name this walls. Alright, so we want this to be on all the walls, but just the walls. So, instead of messing around with UV mapping and all that jazz, ProBuilder allows you to texture all the faces separately. I can texture two sections of the wall to look completely different. But since we want the walls to all look the same, so we've got this wall texture here, and we're just gonna make that, well, I'm a horror guy, so we're gonna make that red. It's also my favorite color, by the way. Absolutely love red. So now if we switch, I know I did that kind of fast. If we switch from perspective to the ISO view, okay, now we can kind of get a little bit better side view, okay? And then we go back here to the ProBuilder section, and select hidden is off, and that just tells us that, hey, we can't select a face if we can't see it. So if we set that to on, now we can select all of these walls, right? Or you're going to make a liar out of me, ProBuilder. Let me move that camera out of there so I don't accidentally select that. So, as I said, we got faces selected, and we can just kind of it helps if you have the object you want to select faces for actually selected. Sorry, dense moment there. Alright, so now we've got all of these walls selected. So, Now we want to put the texture on. Now since all the walls are selected, we only need to put the texture or the material on one part. And now all of those walls are going to be red. And if we turn off the light, you can see because of the way the directional light is, and this is an indoor kind of level, the light doesn't shine through so well. But now we've got red textures, right, all around. And let's say we want our floors to actually be blue. Now we could go all the way up here, look straight down, and try and select all of these, you know, and it's just too much of a pain in the neck for me. So we're gonna select hidden off again. Okay, so we're gonna come up here, we're gonna select one piece of this floor, right? Now if we go over here to this little area, grow selection, hit that little plus sign, and we're going to change that, restrict it to angle, and we're going to restrict that to a, well, we can keep it where it is, it don't really matter. Now if we hit grow selection, now every piece of flooring in this entire little maze area is selected. So of course I don't want my floors to be the same color as my walls, so we're going to go up here to create, and we're going to create a new material, and we're going to call this one floor. And you know, I'm a traditionalist. Most of the floors, well, in dungeons anyway, are kind of brownish, so we're going to create a kind of brownish hint to this floor. Alright, now we're going to take that material and I'll pop it over there. Okay, so, oh, that didn't work out. Scratch that. Okay, so with the floor actually selected this time, we're going to go just like that. And there you can see it's there, but you can't see it unless you look at it because, you know, well, lighting. Now, if you come up here and you look at the ceiling, we can do this kind of the same way, but here's the kicker on that. If I grow selection here, right, now it's going to get all of this, but it's not going to get in here because of this little hampering. It's not actually connected. So if you have any rooms or you've created a door, you're going to have to go in and you're going to have to manually select those spaces as well. And now, let's see, what color do I want my ceilings? Oh, I didn't want to. We're going to create a new material, and let's say, well, no, I don't want white. Let's say gray. Yeah, gray is good. Okay, so we got gray ceilings in this house. I'm going to come over here. Kind of darker gray, so you can actually see it. So now, select the scene again to get our highlighted materials, and we're going to go up here and go boom. So now you can see we've got red, we've got brown, and we've got gray. So if you wanted to, you could take this section over here and you could make that section gray, and you could make this section brown. So you can change everything. I mean, there's just no limits to what you can do with this. And you'll see in my game, I have done quite a lot. I've added materials using a substance program, and it just makes it look more realistic. Now, again, you can do anything you want with this. I mean, it's like a 3D design program. So if you want to select vertices and you want to just kind of bring this, oh, come here. There we go. Oh, yeah, just kind of, you want to bring this down, kind of create an angle or whatever. You want to bring it up, create a you know, an angled ceiling, you know, and you can do all kinds of stuff with this. You know, just, you know, kind of experiment with it, you know, see if you can get it to work for you, you know, and that is the, you know, the essence of Unity. It's so easy to manipulate just about anything you want. And so as a Unity developer, kind of a new Unity developer, I'm still getting used to all the stuff I can do. But you know, if you're an experienced 3D designer, this program is definitely going to elevate your designing to a whole new level. So anyway, that is, you know, my tutorial for ProBuilder. You know, if you have any questions, comments, post them below. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, look for more gameplay videos. Hey, I might even show you a little secret developing inside the editor, and how I set up certain objects and create jump scares. So look for that coming down the line. Thanks for watching, and hope you all have a wonderful evening. This is Patrick with Horrified Gaming, and I'm out.